Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SavvyCast. This is Jamie, and I'm thrilled that you're here today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. Today, I'm going to get a little personal, and I'm going to share about my mommy makeover experience. I know this is not a topic that everyone is open about. I am extremely open. There's not a whole lot that I'm not willing to share. And I do know that there can be negative connotations around this topic. So I do hope that if you do listen, that you will just know that this was a personal experience that I'm sharing, but that it is not something that I'm saying anyone else should ever have or do. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I want to start by saying, what is a mommy makeover? Because there could be people listening who have no idea what a mommy makeover is. Mommy makeover it's like personalized to each person. So it can be one surgical procedure, two, three, but it's basically chosen by women who have had multiple children, who are no longer having children, and who want to have procedures that will put the parts of their body that went through a lot becoming a mom back into either a better shape or just a more aesthetically pleasing shape, because many of you know who've had children, it does change your body a lot. And most often than not, it's in ways that are not the most welcome. It's definitely worth every baby that you have, but it does take a toll on your body. The audience for mommy makeovers are women who have had multiple children and who just really decide they want to get their body back in the best shape possible. Just a little history. I had twins at 31, and I gained entirely too much weight. And Dr. Ashurst, we were living in Montgomery at the time. I think he's still practicing. He told me almost every visit, Jamie, you are gaining too much. You don't need to be gaining this much weight, even though you have twins. But nonetheless, I gained, I believe, 74 pounds. And then I had a C-section with the twins. And then 4.5 years later, when I was 37, I had another C-section for a singleton. And after that, I did lose a lot of the weight and try to exercise, but there were things that were never going to go back to normal with just exercise. And Dr. Ashurst even told me that my first post-op visit with him, there had been, with all the weight gain, there was a lot of excess skin and muscle separation. And he said, Jamie, just to let you know, you can do crunches and sit-ups the rest of your life. Nothing will ever fix what's on your abdomen outside of a tummy tuck. So I always knew that I was either going to live with it or one day get it fixed surgically. And I eventually did make that decision. So in 2021, and my girls were almost grown or graduated from college, and one was in college, I decided to go ahead and I talked to Zane, and he said, babe, I would love to give that to you. So it did not matter to him either way. He said, you're not doing this for me, but you gave me 3 beautiful daughters, and I'm happy to give that to you if that's what you want. So I decided to do it. And I want to say first, one of the reasons that I decided to do it was based upon a confidence that I had in the doctor that I chose to do this work. And I believe that's one of the first tips that I would give anyone thinking about this is find a doctor whom you trust, whose work you have seen, whose philosophy of plastic surgery you are aware of and you agree with. That's what I found. And I will just share who I used, and because I'm thrilled with him, love him, would recommend him to anyone. I used Dr. Micheal Clinton, Reveal Beauty, and he did a fabulous job. He is a very conservative plastic surgeon. He is not going to do more that is needed. And his philosophy is to reveal beauty, not try to create it. So basically, I found him, I had, I believe, 2 or 3 consultations with him that he never charged me for. He was so kind and so patient. I had so many fears and concerns, but once I decided to go ahead, it was a wonderful experience. I will say that I had the surgery scheduled. You have to schedule these pretty far out because there are lots of things you have to do. You have to get with your primary doctor to get a health assessment, get some blood work. You have to just get certain medications. So it's not a real quick decision and then quick procedure. I had that scheduled, and the week that I was scheduled to have my surgery, I lost my golden doodle Cam, who was 6 years old. And anyone who has followed me for the years that I was like within the last 5 years knows that that dog he was my sidekick. I loved that dog. He went everywhere with me, and it was devastating. I was so devastated. I took everything off the plate, including the plastic surgery. I called them and I said, y'all, I cannot. So they said, we will press pause. You are fine. You come back when you are ready. I will say that same week, I got the sweetest condolence card from Dr. Clinton himself. And, they were not worried about me canceling the week of, which that's a pretty big deal when you've got, people who are booked out. That was a glitch, but we got over it. And then I went back, and I'm just going to briefly tell you what I did. I had 2 different procedures. I did the tummy tuck, and I did a breast lift with reduction. So those were the 2 things that I did. Now, with a tummy tuck, you can choose to just do the tummy tuck, or you can add lipo to it. I did not. And the first thing that I want to point out that I wish I had done differently is I wish that I had done the lipo with it. You do pay extra if you get lipo with your tummy tuck, but I think I would have been, now I'm thrilled with the results, and I really zip it up a whole lot better than if you just get the tummy tuck. But the tummy tuck was fabulous. My clothes instantly fit better. I felt so much better, and I was thrilled and still am. One of the reasons that I am so thrilled with my tummy tuck is that now when I do the 2 types of exercise that I do, and I put a lot of effort into them, Pilates and strength, I guess high intensity training. Before the tummy tuck, anytime I did any of the abdominal work or the crunches, I knew they were helping me be stronger, but then I also knew that they were not going to ever change all the excess skin, all the sagging, separated muscles. So after the tummy tuck, everything that I did exercise-wise was just not only to grow stronger, but to be building upon a foundation that I could keep. I was motivated. Hey, let me keep this newly rejuvenated midsection. That was just a big plus. I will say the recovery for the tummy tuck was not difficult at all. I believe I had to wear the garment. It's like a girdle, but it's like a big Velcro, like you tighten it with Velcro. I think I had to wear that 6 weeks. And you do have to be vigilant because there is fluid. And I did go get quite a few lymphatic massages because you do have to work out a lot of that post-surgery. But it was nothing difficult. And once all the healing was complete, I just was beyond thrilled. Clothes fit better, more proportionate, beyond thrilled. Okay, the second thing that I did was a breast reduction. And anytime you get a reduction, you're going to get a lift. So I believe that when I went to see Dr. Clinton, I believe he said I was almost a double D. And in our family, on my side of the family, bigger breasts are just part of the genetics. And I will just say, for my frame, double D was excessive. It caused me a lot of embarrassment when I would exercise. And particularly when I was filming cooking videos, and my videographers and photographers were always sweet high school boys. And I was always so conscious of trying to wear, baggy tops and not be, I just didn't want to draw attention to them. But at a double D, I'm sorry, you can't avoid it. And I did not have a ton of back pain, but I did have some neck pain that I believe was related to that. So the breast reduction that I did, I went down to, I believe, between a B and a low C. And I will say, of the whole mommy makeover, the most satisfaction, the most, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I did this, comes from the breast reduction. And I have heard, and I do believe that Dr. Clinton told me this, that the highest satisfaction rate of almost any plastic surgery procedure comes from a breast reduction, because most people seeking a breast reduction have a lot of self-consciousness and a lot of embarrassment, or even some, aches and pains that helps alleviate. So therefore, high satisfaction rate. I'm going to tell you, and even though I am thrilled with it, my biggest regret was that I did not go lower. And here's why. It's been about 2 years. Now, I still love the results, but you are going to gain weight typically over time. So they're going to also gain weight. So unless you're vigilant, the size that you ask for is almost always, if it changes, going to go up. I discovered that with the size that I went down to, it was so much easier to dress, to have clothes look right, not to feel self-conscious. And I absolutely feel so much better when I exercise, when I'm filming. And I just have to say, I love it. I only wish I'd gone down a little more, but that's just something I'm throwing out to those of you who might be considering it and you're trying to decide how much to go down. I would just say, if you're going to err by going down a little, because any changes are probably only going to be in excess or adding weight. Now, as far as the recovery from the breast lift, it was so easy. I literally, holding back on exercise was because of the tummy tuck. I think I could have been doing almost anything a week or two after if I just had the breast reduction, but it was seamless, no problems, just could not be happier. So my experience with a mommy makeover was 100% positive. I did not have any problems, any issues. Now, there are going to be little things here and there. I mean, having to do the lymphatic massages. I mean, yeah, it's not optimal, but it wasn't anything that wasn't worth it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, jamie@familysavvy.com, because it is a big decision. I am going to toss out one thing. If you are married, make sure that you and your spouse are on board. And Zane was lovely. He was wonderful. And I think most men, realizing what your body goes through after giving them a lot of children, I think most men are fine with it, but just make sure and try to be on the same page. And it's a fun way to maybe tell them something that they could give you for Mother's Day or Valentine's Day or anniversary that maybe could be a big gun. So anyway, I'm happy to share this with you all. And again, my top recommendations are: find a doctor that you love, that you trust, and that you've been able to see other people whose work he has done. Number 2, just get on the same page with your spouse. And then number 3, just be grateful after it's done and throw yourself into maintaining it and then keeping yourself healthy and strong moving forward. And that's just my take on it. So again, always welcome to send me questions at jamie@familysavvy.com. And until next time, you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SavvyCast. If you'll take the time to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, that would mean so much. As always, thank you for listening and have a blessed day.